this is Vibrant Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to create a painting. I'm actually watching the Art Sherpa. Now, the video may be uploaded after the New Year's, but today is New Year's Eve, and I'm watching the Art Sherpa, and she's doing Girl in a Party Dress acrylic painting on canvas for beginners. I really love it, but I want to see if I can adopt this to watercolors. So, I have her on screen while I'm going to go ahead and compose my composition. I'm going to use her image that she's showing right now and see what happens when I do make it watercolor. So let me look. I have a light here. Actually, it doesn't make a difference, I think, the extra light. What I want to use is these portfolios. So I'm going to use portfolios. I put them in this little container, all my portfolios. It makes a very handy little storage, and these are pretty economical. I mean, I got this for like 57 cents at Walmart. And then I have some gelatos, and I do have true gelatos, and I have gel sticks from Faber Castell, and I have some Colorix by Crayola, I think, or off-brand. All these are water-soluble crayons as well. So I'm going to use that. And the reason why I selected the these wax water-soluble crayons, the portfolios or the gelatos, is because I want to have a little more opaque than if I would have used a regular artist grade watercolors or any other watercolor, because they tend to be less opaque. So I wanted to kind of make it a little more opaque, and I want to see if I can imitate her and have a picture that's similar to hers, but using these crayons. I'm going to go ahead and start composing. And more likely I'm going to dab over, because I do want to listen to my favorite artist, which is the Art Sherpa. And if you don't know who the Art Sherpa is, you need to Google her on YouTube or even on Google. She will show up. She's a great artist. She teaches you a lot of the stuff that I know how to do is because of her. So you really need to watch her. She is very talented. She knows how to teach. And I think you will benefit if you watch her, and she's very down to earth, even though she has a lot of subscribers, and whenever she has a streaming video, she has hundreds and hundreds of viewers at the time doing her videos. So I really love her. So if you really want to learn how to draw, go ahead and go over to the Art Sherpa, her channel. But in this one, I'm just gonna follow her along, and let's see what happens. So I'm following along as the Art Sherpa is creating her doll and drawing in her doll. I'm following along her advice, and I'm drawing in the face, which is an oval, and then the bun, and then I'm doing the shoulder. And one thing I was not aware about was when you create your arms, the bend of your elbow is always at the waist area, the waist height. So I didn't know that, and that's why sometimes when I did create full profile of mixed media dolls, sometimes they were kind of weird looking because I bent her elbow always a little too short than around the waistline. So here I'm just drawing the dress and my hair, following along how Cinnamon is doing hers. And I'll put the link. I want for you to watch her show, because she gives a lot of good advice on how to draw. So I'm erasing some of the areas, and then now I'm just putting some water. And I try to use the portfolio like I did with my other cavendish. They're not the same. You cannot just take your paintbrush and wet the tip of your portfolio. You have to kind of scribble on a surface. At least that's how it works for me. I have to scribble some on the surface and then use my water to dilute it. So I used cream color for her skin, and then here I'm just mixing some purple and black. The Art Sherpa in her video is using a dark blue, and I wanted to make the dress very dark, so what I had in hand for watercolor would be the purple and the black, because I don't have a really dark blue that will make it very dark. I like how it showed with those streaks. You can really see the streak of the different colors on her dress, and I really like that. And then I'm doing her hair here. Now, later on, I'll follow the hair along with some more different colors just to give it some depth. But I'm just making a little wash of black and then putting a little bit of brown on her hair. And I'm just touching up her skin. I want to shade a little more her hair there, so I directly put some more black. And then I'm trying to put the edges of her hairline, I'm making it darker so that way you can see it. It'll be more dramatic. Going a little bit, now I'm putting some shading on her skin tone. So on the edges of her arm, I'm darkening the shade, and the Art Sherpa, actually you can see how she does it. But I'm just darkening a little bit on the edges of her shoulder, her arms, and also underneath her hairline. So I'm drying the doll a little bit so that way for my next treatment I'm going to create some circles. So I'm using some dark brown, a lighter brown, and then white. And I'm using a flat 3/4 inch flat brush to create my circles. And now I'm following it with the lighter brown. And then I end up using, I brought my gesso because that white, that watercolor white is not as opaque as I wanted. So I went ahead and brought my gesso over. And then I'm mixing some gesso with my crayons so that way we can really see those circles stand out. And later on I show you how I make those circles pop a little more. But this is good for now. And then I wanted to put some painterly look on her dress. So I used my gesso to really go over the skirt so it looks like it's flowing and it's full. And I'm just making sure she's dry before the next treatment is I'm just drying, I'm writing out my leaves with my pencil. And it's very simple. You just make an oval, like a teardrop actually, more shape than anything, to create your leaves. And then I'm going over it with gesso so that way when I do put some color on it, it's not going to mix with the background color, because of course these are watercolor, or actually water soluble wax crayons, so it's going to react with water. So I want to put a layer of white gesso on my leaves so that when I put the green, it will pop against it and it won't be dull. It will be bright. And I'm also even putting some white on the stem. And now I'm ready to put some flowers the bottom of her dress, but again I want to make sure that I can really put some bright colors and you can see the colors and it will not get dull with the background darker color of her dress. So you want to put some gesso, and I'm making just some circles with my gesso. And I'm also putting some gesso on her hair, because after I dry all this up, I'm going to go over it with my portfolios to create my flowers and my leaves. So I'm just making little semicircles or little scribbles on those areas where I put the gesso, and then I'm going over it with some water to blend it. And see how it looks more like a rose. And then later on you'll see me that I will put some white gesso on top, and that really makes it stand out. So now I'm going over the leaves, and I'm putting a lighter green first. And after I put this layer of light green, I'm going to go over it with the darker green to create some shading. I'm going to do the same thing with her hair, but I'm not going to put any roses on her hair. I basically just want to put the leaves. And here I'm going over my roses with some gesso, just to give it some highlights. And I really like how it looks. And then I'm using the back end of my pen brush to create buttons on her dress. Then I wanted to put something sparkly. I always have to put some sparkle. So I took some Martha Stewart glitter paint, and it's a purple color glitter. And I went ahead and placed that on the top of her dress. So I really put a lot of glitter on the top. And then I just put a thin layer around the bottom, or the fullness of her skirt is where I put a thin layer of this glitter. So now I wanted to really make those circles pop. So I went ahead and got my Duent drawing sketch pencils that I bought some time ago. And I did not want to use black. I wanted to use more a cream color based pencil or brown based pencil, because I really wanted to make the circles stand out, but I wanted to be subtle. I did not want to have that harsh black line. So this worked very well, and I'll put the link to these Duent drawing pencils. They're sketch pencils, and I like them. It really works very nice. And then the last thing I'm doing is I wanted to make the leaves stand out. So of course I went ahead and got my black pencil to outline it. And I'm done with this painting. I hope you like it, and thank you for watching. Bye now.